Hello, everyone. So welcome to YakShaver Spring Review for Spring 94. And for this spring, we have get a lot of things down, and I'm going to walk through all the details for what we've done this spring. First, for the goal of the Spring 94, we will aim to implement the secure OAuth 2 workflow, and we get it down. I will introduce more details as we went there. And for the last spring, we have Baba, Stephen, Willow work on full-time, and Rick, Tom, Callum, Michaela, and Louis work on part-time. The biggest task we have achieved for the last spring was the series of OAuth 2.0 work orders. Because this was a very large one, and we split into small tasks and execute on parallel. And we did a very good job. And in the end, we puzzled them together into a big picture. And Rick, can you give us a detail?
Yeah, sure. So this is a big OAuth refactor. So what we switched from is we use the web app way of doing OAuth, but now YakShaver 2.0 is actually a desktop app, which is a public client. So we need to do it in different way. So this is a big PBI. We have broken it down into multiple smaller PBIs, and everyone just take their parts and do the PBIs in parallel. And without stepping into each other's toe, we did a great job and integrated. Everything runs smoothly in the end. So that's it.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks, Rick. And next PBI I'm going to introduce is the leaderboard. So since Adam has
Sorry, just a quick question on the OAuth stuff. Just for my non-technical sensibilities, what are we talking about here? This is sign in. Like, what does it mean for the user? Is it now super easy? Is it like sign in with Google or something, or what have we got? Single
So
sign-on?
OAuth, so that's for MCP authentication. So it won't be different to users. So from users' perspective, it looks the same, but how we did it back in behind the scene is different.
So is this just cleared up some technical debt to simplify things?
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So, but from a user's point of view, if I'm using the desktop app, like I didn't need to do extra logins before, and I don't need to do extra logins now.
No, everything looks the same to the user.
Okay, all right. But it's valuable doing this work. Why?
it's
Because
improved the security.
yes.
It's made it more secure. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Got it. Thank you.
Cool. Any questions? Okay, for the next one, the leaderboard. There are lots of improvements on leaderboard, so I'll give a very quick demo. So this is YakShaver portal. Let me log in first. And here is the leaderboard. Before, when you click into one of the user, it shows users leaderboard straight away, but Adam mentioned he wants to see the user's details, and then there's a tab on the top. He can toggle and between these details and this user's leaderboard breakdown. And also, before we didn't have the project leaderboard breakdown, and now if you click into one, you get the project leaderboard breakdown. You can see who has been shaved into this project. So this is the biggest improvement. And also I have done some visual improvements, like make it more clear. You can see the trend and less confusion.
So rather than when you're demoing, can you just go back? Rather
The
than
leaderboard or
yeah, so you can just be on here, like you showed all the functionality. The way I would probably do it is say, okay, so we can see the top users here. What if we wanted to see the top projects? Then click on the button. So do that. Click on projects.
Yeah, okay. So what if we want to see the projects?
Yeah, and then scroll down
Here.
and then say, so I would like to know more about TimePro and who's been doing the YakShaves, and then click on it.
Yeah.
So click.
So I'm going to click on the.
Yeah, and now we know this, and we can see who's done the shaves, and you click on this. Yeah, so just talk through a scenario rather than just, this shows indicators, this shows this, like as an example, you can say, so Jim is number 2 there, and you can see he's done 5, which is up from last week. Like you're talking about the data, then there's, there's indicators there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good.
Anyone
This is good information. Just from a usability point of view, it feels like you wouldn't necessarily need to have them split with a tab. It feels like it would all fit on one page. Are we planning for more information to be on each one of these pages? It feels like not much information spread out and then artificially split to 2 tabs.
That's,
I think that's pretty common, Yuli, as a UI design.
I want to chip in
I
on
guess it's
that.
more mobile friendly.
And also, when you click on Shave By, you can change the URL. So when someone copies it, they get it going to the right tab.
Yeah, that's
Okay, so you can still share that.
But Yuli,
okay.
just to answer your question, that was the first draft. I think we should split the edit details of a user into a separate section. So when you go from the leaderboard and you drill down to a user, instead of showing the user details and editing them, you go directly to you drill down into the leaderboard and you stay on the leaderboard.
Yeah, that's right. If I'm in the leaderboard trying to drill down, I have to go via an admin screen. It seems weird to me.
Yeah, so the plan is there,
yeah.
But that was the first kind of phase to add that feature.
Yeah, if I'm in screen,
It's sort of like a
and I click on a project, then I expect to see the project details. But if I'm in the leaderboard, it'll drill down. Yeah, well, you can get the information out, which is nice.
half of the sentences you were breaking up, but
no worries, all good. Carry on.
Cool. Do you have any questions, Adam, on the leaderboard?
No, it's all good.
Okay, cool. Let's continue. And next I'm going to talk about is Tom's little experiments on AI tools. Tom, do you want to give some details on this one?
yeah, I might quickly take over the screen to briefly do that. I hope every one of you watched it by now. Adam, I sent you that via message. I hope you did watch it.
Your video?
Yes.
You are not sharing your screen yet.
Do you think I'm going to watch your video without you, Tom?
Yeah, to give
No.
me feedback.
No, I won't.
Unbiased feedback.
I'm going to watch the video with you.
Oh, okay.
I think, I think you should know that. Definitely. That's why I messaged you. And you said, it's not, what context is it? Yeah. We've got to watch it together. Yeah. Before the sprint review, ideally.
All right, cool. Yeah, so we had a feature request in the backlog, which was a relative simple feature request from Callum. And I used a tool called Vibe Kanban, which is free and open source. It gives you basically a Kanban sprint board, and you can add your custom tasks and get an AI agent to autonomously implement that feature. So I did the experiment using open code, and I added a task, which was basically the same PBI, and let it run through without any further interaction. And at the end, it gave me a summary of what the changes were, which I can look through, as well as a diff. And I could create the PR, review the PR, everything looked good, and I merged it. So that was pretty cool. And that gave me also then the next idea of we could potentially implement like a Kanban board into YakShaver and sell it either as a premium feature or as a standalone feature where we can sync it with GitHub and users can basically maintain like their tasks through YakShaver and potentially implement that using either YakShaver as an agent or hook up their own agent to do that. So that would be a pretty cool future use case for that.
But
Any
we need
question?
to sync up with whatever their backlog actual system is, right? Like if they're using Linear or Jira or Azure DevOps or whatever, we'd have to sync up with all of those different systems.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying that could be either a premium feature, or we can have like a standalone Kanban view only in YakShaver, which doesn't sync up to anything. I mean,
Well, if we are going to do it, we'd have to use MCP
Yeah.
to manage it, right? Because the whole reason why we moved to MCP is so as to not have to maintain separate connectors for every possible system.
but that's definitely like an idea we can play around with and refine.
I'm nervous
Any
about that
other-
because I feel like work item management is what all of those different systems do and the reason that they have them in the first place. So why would they use our work item management? It's not likely to be better than whatever we're thinking through to.
Yeah, I'm not sold on it either, but I would like to flesh the idea out some more later. I don't think we need to get into it now. It's a future thing anyway.
Okay,
Back to you. Just take over the stream.
okay, I will take over the share, Tom. Thank you for the demo. So that's all the important PBIs we have done. And next, I'm going to hand over to Baba to talk about the code coverage and the
Sorry, can I ask a quick
production.
question?
Yeah.
I saw something about the if you minimize if you close it now, it minimizes to the system tray. Does that mean we've also got a keyboard shortcut, or is that a separate thing?
Yes, we have a keyboard shortcut. You can quickly press the print screen button to bring up the YakShaver.
Oh, very nice. Okay, cool. So I think my print screen button's taken by the snipping tool or whatever at the moment. So it just overloads that command, does it?
There's a setting you can customize your shortcut.
Brilliant. Okay, cool. So I can set that up now. That's awesome. Then the next question is, at the moment, I'm still using the old YakShaver most of the time because I'm shaving to projects that aren't YakShaver. When can I use YakShaver Desktop to do other projects than YakShaver?
You could now, if the project is public, because you can just add it to the prompt. If it's a private project, I think, Callum, we haven't allocated for the next sprint yet to sync it with.
Yeah, Yuli, I think you've touched on the final remaining piece that's missing from YakShaver MCP, which is currently we don't have the mapping between the project in the YakShaver portal and which prompt and MCP tools to use. We have had to prioritize this OAuth stuff last sprint and next sprint because it's more important and because we can start testing it without OAuth, but we can't start testing without the other thing. Sorry, vice versa. But yeah, that is definitely the next big thing we need to do before we can release this publicly. For now, what you need to do if you want to shave to a different project that is not YakShaver is create a separate custom prompt and then select that custom prompt that tells it to use a different backlog. And unfortunately, that's the only way to do it at the moment.
Okay, no worries. So,
but it is high on the priority list after we sort out the oil stuff.
Nice. And will it always just be in the prompt, or will there be like some kind of project configuration via the portal?
Yes, that is the thing that is high on the priority list. So in the portal, you're going to pick your project. Inside your project, you will give it a custom prompt, which will include where it is. That could be a drop-down list if it's connecting to GitHub or whatever, and also select which MCP servers to use. And then in the YakShaver desktop app, when you record a video, we'll have a new first step, and that step will be figure out which project this shave belongs in, and then pull down the config from the portal for that project. And that will include all that custom prompt and all that sort of stuff, and then automatically use it for you. So you don't have to manually select that before you shave.
Nice. So just at first thought, it sounds a bit techie. So make sure it's like, usable by someone who doesn't know what an MCP is.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool though. Very cool.
Cool. Next, I'm going to hand over to Baba to discuss the code coverage and also the
Okay.
production deployment, production release.
Thank you, Stephen. So code coverage increased by 0.3% because we have added unit tests for our new endpoints for OS 2. And if you scroll down, please. About the deployments, we had 1 deployment for Teams app and 10 deployments for desktop app.
Yeah, thank you, Baba. And next, I'm going to talk about the health timeline. So over the last week, we had, sorry, this is zoomed over too big. We had 100% availability, and there's a small peak on the failure request. That's because we had a GitHub renew that is over time. That causes this error. We have noted it down. If this happens again, we will investigate it. But for now, there's only like one-time issue, so we ignore this for now, and it's safe to do so. And speaking of the leaderboard, we have Tino on the top of the leaderboard and followed by Baba and Luke Mao. Next, I'm going to hand over to Willow to talk about the product roadmap.
Yeah, okay, so let's look at the roadmap for the YakShaver Agent 2.0. We go from 89% to 84%. That's a drop of 5%, but that's because we have created a bunch of PBIs related to the OAuth thing that during this process we found more issues and we created some. And then for the portal UI UX improvements, we got 3% up. That's the leaderboard. Yeah. Is there
just
any
a small formatting thing? I would generally bold or highlight the current month, otherwise the current week. Otherwise, it's a little bit hard to know which one's which without reading headings and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you, Willow.
Yeah, I can also go through the backlog stats. So for YakShaver, we got 42 new PPIs and 29 of them are labeled with YakShaver. And for the desktop app, we got 91 new PPIs and 86% of them are labeled with YakShaver.
Can I just check? Those stats seem very good. If you have 86% of your backlog from the desktop, how can you also at the same time have 69% of your backlog from the older?
2 different backlogs.
Oh, there's 2 different backlogs. Oh, right. Okay. Now, did you guys make any progress at all in moving this into YakShaver portal?
Moving what? Oh, that? No.
Yeah.
It's very low on the priorities.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Compared to getting YakShaver desktop in a usable state by the public, I think adding that feature is something we can figure out later.
Okay, but
Sorry,
is it even?
Can I just check something? This says that 78 PBIs were created for YakShaver desktop this week.
No.
Nope, in the last 30 days.
Oh, okay, in the last month. That still
So
seems
1
like...
week ago, the count in the last 30 days was 77, and today, the count in the last 30 days is 78. I know it's slightly confusing and weird. I agree.
So the period is last 30 days, but the different window is 7 days. So there's overlap like this.
I think count as of last week means 30 days from last week. Not like 3 weeks. So.
Correct, it does. 30 days from last week. That's what the count on the left is, and the count of today is 30 days from today.
Right, okay. All right, just feels like we're...
And I agree it's confusing.
Well, but we've also got a net increase of about 50 PBIs every week, or every month, I guess. That's a lot. Like, that's a big backlog for you to handle. And getting bigger substantially, right? Like, we want that the net change in PBIs should ideally be 0, right? Because we want to be getting as much work done as we're gaining.
Yes. Yuli wants you to work harder.
Right. Well, obviously, as we do the canary testing and all these people have all these opinions of what should be in there, they're all shaving a bunch of stuff. It doesn't mean we're necessarily going to do all of it or even most of it. We'll see how we go.
I was hoping that the deduplication might bring that number down because people would start shaving the same thing as each other, and that wouldn't be a net change.
Well, I guess the desktop backlog is a brand new backlog. So even if it is deduplicating, it only has, what, a couple of hundred PBIs in it. So it's obviously easy to inflate. Whereas the other one only has an increase of 8. Maybe it is deduplicating, I don't know.
But also the dedupe works only on keyword search, which is not accurate at times.
Sorry, say that again?
The deduplication and the prompt works only on keyword searches with GitHub. So it's not really context search. So if we would add or improve on the deduplication using like a vector database, we can use the context rather than keywords to deduplicate items.
Right. Wouldn't it have like there'd be the same keywords all over the place? Shaves, YakShaver, leaderboard, whatever.
Yeah, we rely on the agent to be smart enough to use the search functionality, and we're using GPT-5 Mini, and I don't think it's really smart enough.
So yeah, I had
separate discussion there.
Yeah, it is. But I had cases where it deduplicated the wrong thing.
Yep. Anyway, carry on.
Hey, next, Tom will talk about his little bit research and deployment.
Yeah, so as I mentioned during the week, I experimented with different automated AI coding tools and agents. One of them was Vibe Kanban, which I quickly demoed before, which is very interesting, especially because you can run multiple tasks in parallel, which is pretty cool.
And also you can talk about the AI tool change.
Oh yeah, thank you. In the AI tools, the change is that I've been using open code, which is free, and it's a CLI agent, pretty cool. I have pretty good success with that. And Willow also switched to Claude Code with Sonnet 4.5 and Opus 4.5.
Okay, cool. Vibe Kanban, you said. Is that like a no-code tool? Huh?
Yeah, so it basically replicates like a Kanban board, a sprint board. You can click on the link, Stephen, and showcase it to you, Lee.
Oh, that's okay. You can show me later if you like. I don't want to hang out the meeting, but I'm just wondering, is that like a replacement to Claude Code or Cursor, or is that a full like replit?
It's basically a UI tool that sits on top of your command line interface for your AI agents.
And which command line interface are you using? Claude Code or Codex or what?
I use, in this specific case, I used open code, but it has a whole bunch of providers that you can use with it, including GitHub Copilot, a whole bunch of different ones.
So, how fast do you think you're going now compared with before AI?
Faster, because I start multiple tasks in parallel.
Right.
Which uses GitHub work trees, which is something new. So each agent has their own copy.
Do you feel like you're going double the speed of the old developer?
I think I haven't measured it, but I think the responsibility has changed because now I'm more reviewing what AI does.
Right.
And it's still a little bit slow, or sometimes it's slow because you hit rate limits, etc. So to counter that, it's good to start multiple things in parallel.
Right.
And then, you just have to keep an eye on it. And I think it's important to have enough experience to understand the code that the AI spits out. Because sometimes, like if you're a junior, you have to trust it because you just don't have the experience. Or you have to like be very, very cautious and test it rigorously. But I think if you have a certain amount of experience, you can just look through the code review and figure out if it's right or wrong.
Okay. Do you often kick off something before going to, say, lunch or a big break?
Yeah.
Yeah, you fine. Do you find you're doing that, Stephen?
Yeah, been doing that, but not using the tool that Tom has introduced yet, but I will try this
But
week.
do you often feel you're got a couple of agents going and before a very big break,
Yes.
you give it something to do?
Yes, I do.
You do?
Yeah, yes.
Right. Rick, how do you find that you're working with AI?
I'm still learning with AI tools.
Mm.
So I think AI tools will enhance your productivity, but that's
But
if
you're
you
still
know
not
how to
using
use
it.
the tool.
So, Callum, how do you get Rick up to speed with the way that you're working? Like, would you need to spend a day working with him so he sees how you're working?
Possibly, yeah.
Okay.
Good
Maybe-
user group.
Maybe we put that on the backlog. Baba, are you using, have you got a couple of agents going at the same time, or are you kicking off anything just before you have a big break?
I have never tried to use agents before going to break, but in my work time, I use AI more than before. Yeah.
Okay. And what about you, Willow?
Like I haven't tried to run agents in parallel, but I think I've used like most of them. But like for the experience, because I think I'm not that experienced with the code, so I need when the UI gives me the code, I need to review that very cautiously and do the
Yes.
task.
Right,
So
okay.
yeah, that would take me some time.
You ever kicked off an agent before going to lunch or something like that?
Can you like I'm not quite sure what's
Okay,
this
all right.
about.
So I think that the fact that there's a few that don't even understand the concept, Callum, I think you should have a meeting with your team just to double check they're all at ground zero. You know, like, Rick, Willow, Bubba, Sure. Do you agree?
I suppose so.
With
the product owner hat on, though, it's not my job, is it? It's
No.
the developer's job.
It is not normally your job, but since you are if we go to the AI tools, yeah, I think you should put the crown emoji next to Callum and Rick. Callum and Tom, because I think that's fair enough that you two are leading the fold. Can you move Tom to number 2? Just move Tom up to number 2 and give them both, say, the crown emojis, so that it's clear that the rest of the team knows that talk to those guys, because they're really pushing the boundaries. And if you guys can, I think the number one thing, Tom, you could be doing is making sure that you know that, say, Stephen is up to speed with you, and then Stephen teaches the others, or you teach the others, and see where everyone's at. Because if you can make somebody like Rick, who's very experienced, work in your manner, he will go, wow, I'm getting more stuff done.
Yeah.
And your backlog is big. No
Thanks.
doubt about it. Yeah, it's a huge backlog thanks to YakShaver. Yeah, and when you do an emoji, Stephen, always put a space after it. Yeah. Okay. All right, good. All right, let's keep going.
Yep. So I'll cover the next one as well. Also, our tenant stats from last week. We had 1 new tenant subscribe this week, and the count is now 49. No, nothing has changed in regards of the tenants who completed the setup. It stayed the same with 4. We had a total number of non-SSW shaves through Teams. That's down from 17 to 2. And we had 63 shaves through the legacy Teams YakShaver, and 4 that have been done through the MCP. So
Right.
the reason why it's 4, it's mainly because we use the daily releases, which are pointing usually to the staging server, and they're not counted in the
Right.
stats.
So what you'll see is the MCP usage went way down this week.
Yes.
Any idea why?
Yeah, that's what I just explained. So most of us, because we do testing on the daily releases,
Yeah.
which are basically built on our PRs to test different new features, these are going to the staging, while this is for production.
What about last week?
I'm not understanding that explanation.
So there were 47 people not using the daily release last week, and this week there are only 4.
A lot of canary testing.
But this is meant to be customers using it.
I think the issue might be that someone who's doing the testing, they have logged in using their SSW account, and that will count as in this number if they're not logged in. So yeah,
Thank you.
that
But
will,
MCP,
Willow's explained it. Basically, people doing testing, SSW people doing testing are looking like tenants. Where I never thought that's not what it's meant to be. This tenants is meant to be non-SSW people.
currently is combined and separated.
Yeah, I'm not expecting to see SSW people doing this.
Okay, yeah,
I
we
want
can definitely
non-SSW people.
improve it and
Right. So if we can
remove-
fix that up before you send it. In addition, you need an extra column, which is the change. The same as the other chart you have above, the other table.
Mhm.
You also need to bold the current week or put star in it or something. So it's very clear which one's which. And you need one more thing, and that is active tenants, because I can see the total number of tenants, but I can't see how many are active. But I will tell you, it's so important that we have people touching base with real tenants. To find out there was 0 contacts to the tenants is a failing of the team to just ping them. How are you going? Any of these tenants you want to just touch base with every week, because we want to know why are they not using it.
Hey, let's move to next session. Colin, can you give us some breakdown to Copilot details? And we can come back to the product app at the last part. That's the last part.
Okay.
The fun facts.
So what are we looking at? There's a timeline. Looks like something went terribly wrong with the timeline because there's a large gap in the first hour there. Is that an accurate depiction of the events, guys, or is that an error on the part of AI?
Sounds like an error because nobody's
So I guess it's
like
not infallible.
in a break.
Something weird has happened there. So I'm not quite sure if we can trust those. So let's just ignore that and move on to the Copilot stats. So it looks like Stephen.
Sorry.
Oh, you keep jumping around. It's very difficult.
Yeah, let me move back
Yep.
because I was trying
Just
to.
because you're on a Mac. Macs aren't very reliable, are they? All right. So it looks like Stephen was talking for most of the meeting in his role as Scrum Master. We had quite a bit of contribution as well from Tom. Rick was fairly consistent, but a little more sparse. Bubba and Willow had their moments, but did not contribute quite as much. Continue scrolling, please. The main issue completed in the meeting was the auth implementation work, which I believe is accurate based on what we've just discussed. Carry on.
And yeah, that's the rich.
That concludes my segment. Thank you.
Now, have we gone through the Claude stats?
No, they're not reliable. There's a large gap at the start.
That might just be one chart. What about the
Yeah,
insights
I'm
as to
going
who?
to discuss in the last part.
Oh, in the last part.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on.
Rick, could you give us some details about the retrospective?
Sure.
That's our doing, but it jumps to top.
Yeah, so what went well?
Can you see?
So
Do you want to see something a little bit?
can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Sure. So what went well? So Baba said the teamwork went well for implementing MCP auth flow. So good job, everyone. And Tom also agreed that it's a superb collaboration work between Stephen, Baba, Lewis, and myself. And Tom also wrote a new rule that was suggested in the previous sprint, what needs to improve. So the new rule is, do you properly resolve code review comments? So we're gonna enforce that rule starting from next sprint. And what didn't go well? Few Canary testers didn't allocate their time for the testing, so some of them didn't complete. What can be improved? So Tom is using this Vibe Kanban and AutoCloud could be integrated into YakShaver. It could be a paid feature. And Tom also suggests that Canary testers should allocate their time to test to do their test, and they should have a PBI in their sprint. So that's all for the retrospective.
Yeah, that's all for the retrospective for spring 94. And now let's jump into the planning for spring 95. Okay, first, let me change this to x-axis. Okay, for the sprint goal for the next sprint, we are aiming to finalize all the remaining OAuth 2 implementation, so we can hand it over to the tester outside of SSW. And second, we're going to do more Canary tests. So we are aiming to each team member should get at least 2 people from SSW to do the Canary tests.
On that first bullet point, can you just put after at the end or for non-SSW people? On the attendees, you can add Thomas. Thomas, yes?
Yeah.
Looks like Tom, I didn't attend too.
Yeah,
Thomas,
got
yes.
replaced by the other Tom.
Yeah, duplicates. Okay, so for the PBIs we selected for the next sprint, they are mainly focused on the remaining OAuth PBIs. And so there are 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 PBIs need to be done, and then we can achieve our target. And Callan, could you discuss about the Copilot stats for the, sorry, it's hard to zoom in.
Absolutely. So the next main issue to tackle is the YouTube video download failure on macOS. I think that is completely wrong. Would I be right in saying that?
That's one of the
minor PBIs in the sprint, but it's definitely not the main focus. So Copilot has let us down.
All right, put a cross next to that one. And was the other one a tick or a cross?
The other one was a tick.
Yes.
So this one, unfortunately, is a cross. So
cross in the figure.
1 from 2 is not too bad. Better luck next time.
Cross at the beginning of the line. Yeah, figure. Yeah, and go back to the other one and give that a.
That one was.
Hold on. I just told you with the emojis, space before.
I remember I did.
You did?
Yeah, there's space.
Okay. There's a space after, not a space before.
So there's 2 spaces after and 1 before. That's better.
All right.
So this side is good. Okay, next is the fun part. Let's look at the Claude stats.
What do you mean the fun part? As if the rest of the meeting wasn't fun?
The most fun
Come
part.
on. All right. So overall, the meeting effectiveness was a C+, which is not that great, I guess. We want to get an A+ next time. 5 participants, 7 decisions, 8 action items, pretty meaningless stats at the top. Executive summary, productive but overlong meeting. That's probably accurate, where OAuth collaboration shone as the sprint highlight, while sprint planning was compressed and several critical process gaps undermine long-term effectiveness. No sprint goal rushed retro. All right, scroll down. So the key decisions, OAuth implementation approach was validated. New SSW rule for closing PR comments by Tom. Well done. 34 story points in sprint 96. Are we up to 96 or 95 or 94?
94.
94.
I'm not sure where I got 96 from. That's weird. Remote audio capture 4 points. I'm not sure what that is. YouTube integration, backend approach, and then some more things that have not been decided, I guess. Scroll down. So the action items, these are the important things to be done for next week. The high priority ones: complete OAuth refresh token endpoint, high priority. Fix OAuth callback bug, empty page on Mac, high priority. Investigate Mac YouTube download failures. That's the one that Copilot said was the main focus. So at least it's a high priority. It's not too bad. And of course, publish a new SSW rule about PR comments, which I believe is what has already happened. So it looks like AI has fallen over a little bit. Let's look at our hard truths. This is going to be, so brace yourself, guys, for this hard-hitting feedback. YakShaver is not being treated as a priority product. We don't have enough people, unfortunately.
What the hell is it?
More people, Adam.
I don't
know what to tell you. The team is doing good work despite the organization, not because of it. Interesting. Sprint planning is capacity constrained because we just don't have enough people. Team's in survival mode. And for the team, 38 minutes.
What language are you guys using to indicate you don't have enough resources?
Good question. For the team, 38 minutes of time waste in a 116-minute meeting. That's 33% of the meeting. Now, I'm not sure if it's because of that big gap that are identified erroneously. We'll need to investigate what happened there. Sprint planning got 17 minutes at the end of a 2-hour meeting. Priorities are inverted. So we're not spending enough time on the planning. We're spending too long on what we've done. Token security is deprioritized. It's nice to have when it's actually security vulnerability. That's concerning. The same canary testing issue. Oh, it's done. Okay, good. The same canary testing issues appeared for 3 sprints with no real solution. So there you go. Some hard-hitting truths for everyone. If you can move on to the next tab. What else we got in here? Okay, the timeline. So we've already established that is erroneous. So let's not look at that too much. Next one. I feel like I'm not sure if any of this. Well, it looks like the highlight was Tom creating the rule. So well done. Next tab. All right. So Stephen, Scrum Master, product owner, and facilitator. You've taken my job, Stephen. You're now the product owner. Is that true? Interesting. Tom, the highest value per minute ratio. Well done, Tom. Scroll down. I won't dwell on this stuff too long because I realize it is getting late. Rick, clear technical explanations. Advocate for quieter voices. Proactive about roadmap. There you go. Baba, clear explanation. Provide context when prompted. Willow, second best value to airtime ratio, concise and clear, high signal to noise. Well done, Willow. Very good. Although only 4.9% speaking time. So maybe brevity can come across as disengagement when it's actually efficiency. So just keep that in mind. Next tab. Insights. I think we've already covered all that. Move on. Next one. All right. So this meeting cost $1,450, and of that, $570 was wasted.
Has it got the proper rates?
I've got no idea. I haven't provided with the rates, so I think it's just made it up.
Maybe you should give it the links to our terms and conditions.
I should, yeah. Or I'll tell it to look them up. Scroll down. Or scroll along, up to you. Either way. No, it's fine. Move on.
Okay. Next time.
That's just repeating what we've already looked at anyway. So the retro was not good, below average on the retro because no previous actions were reviewed. So we didn't look at what was in our retro last sprint and see if they've been addressed. Maybe we should be doing that. And actions lack owners and deadlines. The sprint planning, no sprint goal in caps. Is that because we decided the sprint goal after the meeting because I wasn't there? Possibly.
No, we had it before.
Well,
That's
AI says otherwise, I'm afraid, Tom. So
AI is right,
have to-
always right.
overrule you there. All right. And cool. Next tab. Is that the last one?
Yeah, it's the last
All
one.
right. Trends. It's improving, but it's fragile. All right. Action item completion improved from 33, which was terrible, to 62.5, which is good. Code coverage finally moved after 3 sprints of neglect. OS security is 90% complete. However, Mac issues and capacity constraints remain concerning. So some things are getting better, some things are getting worse. Hopefully more is getting better than is getting worse though.
So with the code coverage, now you're doing a lot of prompts to get this done. Why wouldn't you be increasing the code?
That's a very valid question. Why don't we just have AI pumping out unit tests for everything, getting 100%?
The code coverage only looks at the portal and the legacy YakShaver. It doesn't include the desktop.
Well, that's another question. Why doesn't it?
So
It never got prioritized in a PBI for this.
can we do that?
AI should be able to do it fairly rapidly though, right?
Yeah, that's a good task.
That's a good task for the Kanban.
All right. Actually, we have already started implementing tests.
Is that why we went up by 0.3%? Or
No.
sorry, the desktop.
Code doesn't cover it yet, but we started writing
Okay,
tests
great.
in the desktop app.
So we should have started reporting on it first, so then we can see how much of a big improvement we've made.
Okay. Yeah.
Awesome. And that concludes my analysis. Thank you.
Hey, anyone has any questions? Oh, no. Thanks for watching. We're going to upload this video into SSW YakShaver. This is Stephen and YakShaver from YakShaver team. See you next time.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.
See you.
Yeah.